Welcome back. We continue our visit with Marshal Yanda at his father's farm in Jones County. This is where he learned the value of hard work and grit, traits that continue to serve him well in the NFL. You've been described by both Coach Ferentz and Coach Harbaugh as one of the toughest players they've ever coached, and as a kicker, you never get described as being tough. Maybe accurate or consistent; those are the two things you want to be described as. But if there's an adjective you want to apply to a football player, it's toughness. And that's something that they always say. And Coach Harbaugh's been quoted as saying, "You're the toughest player on the team." He said, "You're the tone setter for the entire offensive unit." And this is coming on an NFL team with guys like Ray Lewis and Terrell Suggs and Ed Reed and Anquan Bolden. These guys, these are tough characters. Describe to me, what does the word tough mean to you?
Just being consistent, hardworking, and playing through injuries to a certain extent. Obviously, there's a point in time where you just got to play through a lot of pain and a lot of injuries, and just being consistent. As far as you want your great players being consistent. I take a lot of pride in being. I wanted to be a consistent player for each team that I was on. For Iowa, I wanted to be accountable, to be making my blocks, and when the game's on the line, I took a lot of pride. That's in my mind. When the game's on the line, it's third down and it's third down and 7, and they're coming. My guy's not going to make the play. I think like that when I'm out there playing. Obviously I'm thinking about my technique and stuff, but I remember in the back of my mind, it's not going to be me. And sometimes it is. Sometimes you do get beat, but a lot of times in my mind, it's not going to be me that hurts the team, and I just take a lot of pride in that. I feel being a part of a team is being a part of something greater than yourself, and just and having fun. And I just I care about the team, so I care about not letting them down, and I want to do my job and do my part. So that goes a long ways for me, playing through injuries, being tough, being nasty. As an offensive lineman, you got to get after guys and put guys in the ground and get in fights sometimes if that happens, and not back down. That's what I do. I'm a nice guy, sitting here talking to you. Obviously on Sundays it's a little different deal. I get aggressive, I get a little physical, and that's the way it goes. I love that. I was a rough kid growing up. As far as when we played, kids cried, and when we played, we did physical stuff. And football is a great sport for me for that. So it's kind of like my natural release to get out there on Sunday and get after guys, and being physical and being tough is all part of that of how I like to do things. So football fits great for me.
It's an underappreciated position for the most part. I think my experience with offensive linemen has always been they kind of like it that way. They don't like a whole lot of limelight. They don't want to be the guy on the Nike commercial. Is there something about offensive linemen in general? Maybe it's something that the regular fan doesn't quite know that's out there. Do you guys like to keep it under your hat?
Well, I always tell people, if you're a good offensive lineman, you're not being recognized. Like, if you're a great player, you shouldn't be known by a lot of people. Because offensive linemen are normally picked out as getting penalties, or picked out as getting, false starts or holding calls or stuff like that. So I always tell, and giving up sacks, as linemen. So you don't want your name called as an offensive lineman. So I tell guys, I tell rookies and guys, you want to be young, you want to be great players, don't get penalties and don't give up sacks, and don't be recognized, and you'll be doing your job. And that's fine. That's the way I like to be. I don't like to be recognized for, the stardom and this and that. I'm happy to be a part of it, and just happy, like I said, happy to be a part of it.
When we come back, we wrap our visit with Marshal Yanda as Anamosa honors one of its own by naming the weight room in Yanda's honor and retiring his jersey.